Halo. It was introduced on the original Xbox and was at its peak during the 360 era, with Halo 3 and Reach specifically. And since then, it's been on a rocky path trying to capture its former glory. I've also been talking about it a lot recently. And I'm not stopping now. And while we all have fond memories of Halo with its story-rich and action-packed campaigns and multiplayer, there was one other feature that truly made it a star of its own: Forge Mode. Introduced in Halo 3, Forge Mode allowed players to free roam maps and even add their own custom assets to place wherever they wanted, letting players design and create their own custom versions of these maps where the only limit was their imagination. But based on the title of this video, we're not here to talk about the customization. No, we're here to talk about something way more stupid. When I was a kid, I didn't have internet for the longest time. The closest we had to internet was a Verizon hotspot we borrowed from my mom's work, and we didn't even get that till I was 16. So when I wanted to play Halo, I was mostly playing by myself, meaning my only options were to play the campaign for the millionth time, which I did, or play Forge Mode and explore the maps to try and make the largest explosion possible to fry my Xbox. While young me explored these maps, I remembered feeling this uncanny vibe from each of them. While exploring, my mind would come up with some tragic stories as to why the map was abandoned. Classic Halo maps didn't feel like they were solely designed for players to duke it out. Each map, when examined more intimately, gives off a story. Like something in the game's universe came here, built these structures, left these little signs of life all over the place, then something happened to where these beings were forced to leave, and now it's abandoned. Think about that. These maps do not feel empty, they feel abandoned. Completely different perspective. You probably didn't notice this at first glance because you were too busy either fighting for your life to capture the flag or playing some crazy custom games with sloppily placed assets with your friends. But I urge you to try booting up Forge Mode and just look around, and try to spot all the little details Bungie left when designing these maps. You might gain a new appreciation. But again, we are talking about something way more stupid. One thing Bungie loved to add to their maps was tunnels. So today I will be sharing some of my favorite tunnels on Halo map, starting with Reach, because it's my favorite, and based on how this video performs will determine if I make another. So subscribe and like the video if you'd like to see that. Also, comment down below what some of your favorite unnoticeable details are in Halo maps. Alright, let's begin. Okay, starting off, we are in the classic map of Forge World, just the base map, and we're actually going to be going down to the island right over there, so let's head on over. Also, I'm trying something a bit different with this video using live commentary, so apologies if I'm not as coherent as I am with scripts, but, you know, I'll do my best. Okay, so this is the first site. This one steel tunnel located right in the center of the island. It goes through the rock, and it's the only one of its kind, and that's kind of why I picked it out. This tunnel, and I guess technically the hangar structure up there, are the only, like, actual structures, like, made by some kind of being on this map. The hangar kind of makes sense because it's a large open room, and you could kind of make, like, a futuristic-y map in there, but if you were trying to make, like, a survival island map, I guess, this one tunnel just kind of throws it off, and there's nothing you can do about it. These aren't interactable objects. I can't move them, I can't modify them, I can't delete them. They are just a part of the map that is here to stay. And it kind of makes me think like maybe Bungie wanted to do something more with this rock. Maybe they wanted to put some like hidden chambers or build like a little base on top of it, but then kind of stopped because it's Forge World. You're allowed to make your own structures, but they just kind of left this here. Maybe they forgot about it. Maybe it was intentional. I mean, there could have been like a dock kind of entrance here on this side, but on this side over here, I have no idea. So yeah, you can look anywhere else on the map. This is the only tunnel that is like this. And I think that's kind of neat. It's like a little hidden mystery. Like, no one knows why this is here. Like, not even the map tells a story of why this is here. This is just a random steel tunnel. So, yeah, I guess with that, we'll move on to the next one. All right, for our next spot, we are on the DLC map Tempest, and this tunnel specifically was chosen because it kind of highlights the beauty of Forge Mode. Now, let me paint you a scenario. Let's say you're on this map and you're just doing a regular PvP match. You're playing some Slayer, some big team battle, whatever custom games you got loaded up, and let's say your misadventures lead you to this river here, and you see this little nook that's perfect for hiding. Well, looking at this spot in particular, this rock kind of looks a bit funny. It doesn't necessarily blend in to the colors, and also it doesn't really look like it's set correctly. The edges are just kind of clipping into the wall. And the more you look at it, the more you can kind of see around it, especially in this spot here. This ultimately reveals that there is something behind here, and you just don't know what it is. So naturally, you come into Forge mode, we go into the editor pod form, and then boom, the green hand appears. This means we can move it. And it also gives me the opportunity to make this joke. Yep, that's right. Bungie put in a secret tunnel that can only be accessed if you come in on Forge mode and move this rock and another rock on the other side of it. Now, is there anything special about this tunnel? No, not really, but it does have a lot of possibilities when you open it up. You can make it like a race map with this trail that goes around the whole island. You can make it like a hide and seek area. You can open it up for more games, for custom maps, or whatever. The sky's the limit. But it also just highlights the beauty of Forge and how Bungie rewards the players for exploring and just going places where they're not supposed to, leading to you finding cool little secrets like this. So yeah, Forge mode's awesome. Old Halo games are awesome. Next tunnel. All right, for our next tunnel, we are on the map Breakpoint. And I picked this one because it really just makes me think that Bungie just wanted to make Halo Kart, because this tunnel here is like an underground highway that cuts straight through the mountain and can't really be accessed regularly because of the death zone right here, but they only put one on this side and not this side. So that's a bit odd. And they also put like these little hallways. I don't know why they're here. They just kind of loop around. They don't really lead into the buildings off to either side. Each end has one, but there's no point to them really. I guess it could be like a little shake-up maneuver. If you're being chased by somebody and you want to cut them off, you could use that. But yeah, I think Bungie just wanted to make Halo Kart. So they built this little underground mountain tunnel for people that just wanted to come on here and make a cool race map on Forge. I mean, it is pretty fun if you ride around on a mongoose on this map and just do the loop. And another theory that leads me to believe they wanted to make Halo Kart was this little section here. You can delete these barriers, and now it opens up kind of like a shortcut. So if you wanted to make this path here a bit more risky for doing race maps, then you could. Or you could take the long way that loops around the building here. So yeah, this is the Halo Kart map now, and I refuse to look at it any other way. All right, next tunnel. All right, for our next stop, we are at the iconic map Powerhouse. And believe it or not, the tunnel on this map we'll be talking about is actually not on the map. At least it's not on a part you can access. The tunnel I'm talking about is right over there. Yep. This tunnel here is a tunnel I will never be able to access, nor will I ever know where the path leads to. And when I was a kid, just roaming around on this map in Forge, it always just kind of like haunted me, knowing that I'll never know what's over there. And it tells a story because if you follow along the path, it leads to the bridge right here that's broken. So at one point in this map's story, you could walk over there just fine, but now we can't. And it's kind of like reaching out for the moon. You can never really grab it, but you know it's there. And I know now with modern technology, and this being the Master Chief Collection on Steam, I could definitely mod it to get some kind of camera mod to where I can easily access any point on this map where I want to. But as a kid who just has an Xbox 360 with no internet, all I could do really was just kind of look at it and imagine where it could possibly lead to. Even in Forge mode, you can't go over there. It's just going to block you with an invisible wall, as well as a death zone that will blow up your orbital pod if you stay out there too long. So yeah, this is kind of a philosophical approach with this tunnel being added, but you know, it's my video. I can add whatever tunnels I want. Okay, for our next stop, we are on the map Sword Base, and I'm gonna be real. I selected this tunnel purely for nostalgic reasons, and here's why. I'm gonna give you a story, and let me know if you relate to this story. Young middle school Ender has finally been let out of school for the weekend, and he's going to his friend's house, where he has access to internet, Xbox Live, and of course, he wants to play some Halo Reach Online. The mode he wants to play specifically is Infection. Now, Sword Base was a very popular map for Infection, for multiple reasons. But whenever I would log in, immediately we would all link up to the same brain cell and all beeline it to this tunnel specifically right here. And we'd all run to the back, snug in real close to one another, and each take turns popping zombies with our shotguns, praying that they don't reach us and add to their zombie horde. And of course, when we run out of ammo, we would go up here and die immediately to the guy camping the corner. But no matter what, if we were on sword base, this tunnel is where I would end up. And whether or not I win was a different story, but I will never forget the countless games where we would all pile in here, friends or no friends, and just shoot zombies and laugh as we all die one by one. This tunnel brings back a lot of good memories, and also just makes me appreciate the time I had growing up playing games with my friends. So yeah, I hope that story made you smile, and I know for a fact that some of you have lived the same thing. Okay, we saved the best tunnel for last. Okay, for our last stop, we are on the map Highlands, another DLC map, and the tunnel I'm about to show you is the complete package. It tells a story, it combines the elements of the map flawlessly, and it leads to some pretty cool areas to explore. So, right off the bat, I can just go ahead and say, Highlands is beautiful. I love the lush greenery, I love the intricate structures of the mountains, and I also love how the freaking bases combine into the mountain flawlessly. But we get to see all of that just with this one tunnel. Already, just with a quick look inside, we can already see the combination of nature and man-made structures combined beautifully, giving this tunnel both a natural and industrial look. Walking inside, we are greeted to the best part of this tunnel, this little window. Going up to the edge, it's kind of like looking at a battle that's frozen in time, with the Corvettes just looming in the background, the sky's on fire, and we can even take a gander across the battlefield and just imagine if the enemies are hiding right over there, and we wouldn't even know. I bet it looks way cooler in battle, but I kind of get a strange, uncanny appreciation just looking around in it by myself. Moving on through the rest of the tunnel, we then are fed directly into one of the base structures. And I really appreciate this door being here. It's kind of both a secret exit / entrance, really good for flanking, really good for secret surprises, and even just walking into the base, we're already introduced with multiple pathways. We can go right outside, we can go down here into the lower levels, or we can continue to go outside and go to this upper platform where we are greeted with this amazing water generator structure. And then we got a teleporter to bring us to the other side of the map. Now, while this side of the map doesn't have anything special necessarily, it all stems from this one tunnel. And I think that's just really cool. And yeah, it's my favorite tunnel in all of Halo Reach, and I found it really fun to explain why I liked all these tunnels to you guys. I hope you guys liked it too. Now, I know this video is a bit more laid back than my usual uploads, but I wanted to slow things down and show off some of the simple details of one of my favorite video games. When games get reviewed or advertised, the focus is usually on the big stuff, like how large the open worlds are, complex gameplay mechanics, or how many meme emotes can I spam in front of my enemies until they seethe and rage quit. But the little things are just as important. They are additions that make the game feel alive. The birds that scatter as you run through a dusty wasteland, the NPCs that fill the streets and go about their day, or the angelic glow of the lights in the sky as you search for your next dungeon. These details might not be the stars of the show, but they quietly build the atmosphere and pull you into their world. Even things like tunnels have a sense of place and depth. Now, are these features going to be bragged about in a trailer or printed on the back of a game box? Probably not, unless you're Minecraft. But with this video, I hope I was able to spark some curiosity or some newfound appreciation for one of your favorite video games. I'm GalicEnder, and thank you so much for watching.